Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to set up your reverse diet macros, training, and mindset. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Shanae. I'm a WBFF Bikini Pro, and I specialize in helping women not only get to the stage, but also normalizing their lives after. So if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know if any questions that you have in the comments. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so we're gonna get this topic started off with talking about training. So I touched on this on one of my earlier videos, but one type of training program that I love to put all my post-competition clients on, and also for myself, that's worked very well for me, is something that's called the DUP program. So essentially what that stands for is Daily Undulating Periodization. And the reason why I love this program for post-competition bikini girls is because we love numbers, right? So week to week, we're looking at our scale weight, we're looking at our body weight, we're looking at our waist circumference, and we're constantly aiming for something. So by following a DUP structured training program, you have some sort of like numbers to focus on. So without going into too much detail about it, basically what it is, it's a structured strength training program. Some people might even say that it's sort of powerlifting-esque. And what we're doing week to week is based on how the previous week's performance was, we're either gonna increase the sets, increase the reps, or increase the weight, and that's gonna increase your volume. So if you've done a bikini competition, you're more than likely wanting to make some gains in your improvement season. And when you're no longer a beginner, you can't just kind of go into the gym and do what you feel like. As a personal trainer, I've been a professional personal trainer for over 5 years. I've trained hundreds of people at the gym, and I've always had somebody on a program. So the trainers that you see who just kind of whip up a workout off the top of their head, their clients typically don't ever make any progress. The clients who are making progress are the ones that are following a structured training program that have deload weeks built in, every 4 to 6 weeks. And the training program is periodized, which means that it changes based on the goals. One of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of people make with their strength training process is by constantly keeping reps the same, constantly keeping weight the same, or also constantly changing things around. So our bodies are very smart and they adapt. And when we exercise, when we're strength training, it's the stress that you put on your body. So in order to maximize our strength gains, we wanna make sure we're following a program. And like I said, why I do DUP for bikini girls is that we have these numbers to kind of strive for. And it just takes our mind off of looking at the scale weight and looking at that number that we're trying to control, and now instead shifting our mindset to the barbell and trying to get more weight on the barbell for deadlifts, bench press, shoulder press, hip thrusts, squats. And by increasing your lean body mass, we're gonna increase our metabolism, right? So reverse dieting, we wanna reset our metabolism. We wanna add food week to week so that we're eating more, so that the next time we do a cut for a prep, you have more calories to cut from. So that's why I personally love the DUP strength training program. It's also great for anybody doing fat loss, but for post-competition, instead of just going into the gym and kind of randomly lifting weights, I would highly encourage you to follow a program so you have these like attainable goals to aim for. All right, so next up, we're gonna talk about macros. I did an Instagram little infographic post on this. If I'm talented enough with my editing skills, I'll post the photo here. But essentially, when we start a reverse diet, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is immediately take yourself out of a calorie deficit. So I'm gonna give you a super general number, because this is very generalized. This is not specific for you, but from what I've seen with myself and with my clients is that a 200 to 600 calorie bump up is gonna be necessary. So I told you it's a broad range because we're all so unique. If you want to go a little bit more on the conservative side, stay between 2 and 4. If you don't have a show coming up until next year, then I would go a tiny bit more aggressive, 400 to 600 calories, depending on your body type and how you metabolize. The reason being is that the faster that we can get your hormones to a level state and the faster that we can get your calories up and your body feeling good, the sooner you'll feel better. And if you have any binging tendencies, it's gonna go away, because biologically we're feeding your body. Like, your body is gonna feel better. So don't forget that we are, you know, living human beings, and we like to think that our metabolism is science, but it's not. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Like, there is just no one size fits all approach. So try something, be a detective, investigate it, add more calories if you need to, decrease calories if you need to, if it was too much of a bump up, and always so many different things that come up. So just be open-minded, stay flexible, and be adaptable, and just remember that it's gonna be a process to figure out what exactly works best for you. So I highly recommend hiring a coach for your reverse diet. It is so nice having someone else look at your body with objective eyes than yourself, and, you know, being able to tell you, okay, let's bump up your carbs by 20 grams this week, and you're like, no, that sounds like a lot. But your coach is looking at you with objective eyes, and your coach is gonna be able to tell you, like, no, like, that's good, like, we need this, like, you look amazing, you're fine. So hire a coach. If you need a coach, shameless plug, please email me here. So continuing with the macros, you're gonna wanna bump up fats and carbs. So what I generally say is, or I ask my clients, like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer more carbs or do you prefer more fats? So I kind of bump up carbs and fats based on that. And then week to week, after the check-ins go, with check-ins, we're gonna monitor strength gains via the DUP. So how much did you get on your failure set? What was your RPE, which is your rate of perceived exertion? So I use the feedback from their strength training program to, and also their, you know, weights and their measurements, to increase calories. So that's why I like the DUP for post-competition. You're not just increasing your calories based on like how you look, but how you're performing, right? So if the strength training portion is very hard and it's not working, like you're not able to lift as much weight, then we're gonna increase calories or we're gonna decrease your training output. Because at the end of the day, it's all about energy balance. That's what we wanna manage. I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, sorry. So with the macros, right, they're gonna get increased. How much is honestly very personal. I can't really give a generalized thing on that, but the things that you want to keep track of are gonna be your DUP strength gains, your waist measurement, your hips measurement, like your glutes, and then also your weight and pictures. So pictures tell a big story that weight doesn't tell. And last but not least, we are talking about your mindset. So I do this with my clients where we think about goals that we want to reach that have nothing to do with fitness. So yes, we all have long-term goals. So, you know, one of my clients just competed and she was like, okay, am I going to compete in December or am I going to compete next year in April or May? And by having that long-term goal that we strive for, we're able to stay in a more positive mindset. But I always give people other goals to aim for that have nothing to do with fitness. So maybe it's something business related or something you know, personal related with them, or education, just something different, you know. Like, I just think it's so important to have other goals besides fitness. Like, fitness should supplement your life, but it shouldn't be your whole life. So putting a different goal in place for you to reach that has nothing to do with your exercise, with your competing, that really, really helps. Number two with your mindset is developing positive habits that are going to course correct you when your mindset goes south. So as your reverse diet, you gain weight. Like, you know, your competition weight is not a weight that you can maintain. You're gonna gain weight. So whether that be, you know, 5 to 10 pounds, like you're gonna gain 5 to 10 pounds in the first month. Like, that's just how it goes. That's just normal. There's nothing wrong with you for gaining weight. It's just what has to happen. So when that happens, it's easy to get negative. It's easy to start to be hard on yourself. And it's easy to just think that like you're not good enough. So, or that maybe, say you're a coach, and this is a true story, you feel like your credibility is gonna go away because you're gaining weight, which is like totally not true. That's where I talk about having awareness and then compassion. And we create self-awareness through journaling and meditating. So taking time to be by yourself, closing your eyes. You can use Headspace, that's a great meditation app. journaling, reflecting. You can write, you can type, really just get out of your head and put it all out onto paper or into, you know, just get it all out. Become aware, and then after you become aware, we use compassion. So, you know, if you find yourself getting hard on yourself because you didn't stick to your macros yesterday because your friend made you a really healthy carrot cake, you know, you just gotta let that go and be okay with it and not be so hard on yourself. Like, this is life. It's just a carrot cake. It's not like you binge. It's not like you know, went off the rails. Those little things like that, in the long run, if you don't get down on yourself for that one incident, you are more likely going to stay positive and be able to nail your reverse diet and all the other days. But if you get so caught up in all the little things, then you most likely are going to self-sabotage yourself along the way. So awareness and then compassion. Meditating, journaling, becoming aware of the triggers that you might have. So for some people, overeating triggers are boredom, anxiety, stress, loneliness. So really becoming aware of what your triggers are and then having a plan around it. So say that you find yourself getting into a negative headspace when you've been on Instagram too much, you're scrolling way too much, you start comparing yourself to others, and then you start to, you know, get into your head, you're feeling jealous, you're feeling, and then you, without knowing it, you know, you're in the kitchen and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna have one little spoonful of peanut butter, and then, you know, like 10 spoonfuls later, we know how calorie dense peanut butter is. So don't get into those kinds of traps. We want to have awareness, we know what our triggers are, and then have a plan. So that was a perfect example of me. So whenever I get jealous or bored or anxiety or stress, I overeat. Those are my triggers. And I used to just go into the kitchen and stand in front of the fridge and eat like turkey slice here, a little bit of almond butter here, raspberries here, and I was finding myself like overeating in that time frame of just standing there. So I made 2 rules. I have 2 plans. One plan is I don't eat when I'm standing up. If I'm hungry, I put a meal together and I sit down and eat, like no snacking while standing up. And my second thing is after I've had a snack or after I've had a meal and I'm still feeling like I'm hungry, I put myself in the situation by either going on a walk, taking a bath, meditating. I just do something else that distracts me, and this is actually called surfing the urge with craving. So giving yourself the moment to be mindful and to just surf the urge and do something else instead of giving in right away to eating is absolutely so helpful in just offsetting binges, offsetting overeating. Once you understand and realize that food is just a mechanism in which you're trying to cope, you can then really, you know, change that and use other mechanisms to cope. So it all ties back into just being aware and then having the compassion for yourself to know that you are human and this is happening, and then to make a plan. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I didn't go off on a tangent. I am a chatty Cathy, you know I love to talk. Is that for your training, your macros, and your mindset? I hope that this video was helpful. If you'd like to join my private Facebook group, I have the link down below. And if you want to connect with me on Instagram, you can find me at FitNay. If you need any support, send me a DM. I'm more than happy to talk you through it. And if you have any other kind of questions or suggestions for videos, I'd be more than happy to take them. I'm always open for new ideas. So I hope you learned something, and I hope you guys have a great day. See you in the next one.